So now that we've built our welcome center, which is the basic facilities we need to get the prison operating, I have built a perimeter wall, which is basically the very obvious perimeter wall that runs all the way around, totally secured this site. If you remember, we expanded it one up, one left, one down, and there's only one way in and out of this prison, which is through this door. Now, you might like to have lots and lots of different entrances, but I find that if I can just shut one door to stop people getting out, making a runner for it, it's easier than having multiple ways in and out of the prison. It does mean that this will get extremely busy, because we're potentially looking at somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 prisoners are going to be in this prison if I can pack them in the way that I'm intending to. So this episode is going to be about space planning and judging what we can build and where. So I'm going to be basically running quite a rough analysis as I go through, which I'm going to refine and iterate as we get more information. More information meaning basically how many prisoners we're going to fit in once we have all the pieces that we need, and it's going to be a lot of moving parts, so try and bear with me, and I will throw information up on the screen that I've been working to in the past, and we'll see if this works. Most of my prisons end in the bloodbath, as previously noted, but it's usually quite fun, and some people do manage to complete their sentences and come out better people than they went in. That does happen occasionally. So the basic principles, we're going to have a central core area that is going to basically serve with the minimum and medium security central functions of canteens, kitchens, yards, the workshop, all of those sorts of activities in the center. That's going to be fed from, we'll do minimum security down here, and we'll do medium security up here. So medium, the central facility is shared by then minimum. We're going to have a maximum security wing number 1 around this location, maximum security wing number 2 around this location. We are then going to have some small separate self-contained facilities for Supermax and separate self-contained facilities for our snitches wing. Snitches you need to keep separate from even the other snitches, because a snitch will still kill another snitch, so you have to be careful if you want to sort of protect the lives of people who are quite vulnerable in your prison. Death row, never actually built one, but maybe we'll do it in this build. So what I'm going to roughly define, I just forgot something already. I'm going to have a visitation center, which is going to be visitation and parole rooms for all of these security types in roughly this area. So I'm just going to drop that in. My central facilities, I'm just going to drop something which is 50 on both sides, and we're going to have to come back and refine this depending on how big we need to build it. And I'm going to say let's go to 200, 190, because I want to leave space at the end for our self-contained wing, which I'm going to build one there, build another here. We might have to revisit this once we look into what this actually involves. Then, in this rough area, I'm just leaving what I think might be sufficient space. So we're saying 46, 113 is going to be maximum security. I left a gap of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 46. 113. Symmetry is super important. If I can't get symmetry, I won't get to sleep and my teeth will itch and fall out. So I really have to make sure that everything is absolutely symmetrical. In terms of the minimum security that we're going to build in this area, we're going to go for big dorms, lots and lots of people crammed in. This is the kind of aesthetic that I'm going for on these images. Big dorms, everyone in there together. There's minimal shank risk. People just basically want a quiet life and they want to get out. They've got short sentences, they won't be in there for long. So we will pack them in. Relatively low risk. Issues do occur, but if we can keep the temperature of the prison down and not have too many issues arising, then we can basically create some big, really stacked dormitories. So I'm going to sort of make some estimations, and I can't work out what I need in here until I've worked out the cell capacities for the minimum security and the cell capacities for the medium security. Maximum and the self-contains will be self-contained, so it's just whatever we can fit in that shape. But for these two, the capacity of these is going to inform what we need here, and then this might grow and then reduce our capacity, and then we'll find a balance in the middle. So I'm going to basically have a go at working out what I might do in terms of a dormitory. So if I was to build a bunk bed, we can sort of see the scale that we're looking at. So what might be a really packed in dormitory? I'm just going to draw something roughly. Am I going to delete these because we're not? We don't worry about money because we're doing the sandbox. So that's 10 people. That's 20. That's quite a small dormitory, I think. I think we can back to back these. So we could do something like that. That's 40 people. 40 people? Wow. Seems like a small dormitory. We'll make it a little longer. Maybe 42, 44, 48, 74, 50, 76. I like that as a dormitory size. With 76 prisoners, we're going to have some communal showers. Do we need 76 showers? I think you have to fight for them. So we're going to have a bit of space. We'll probably have a separating wall around here. And I'd say we'd probably have symmetry. Probably say about this many showers. And what about toilets? You think we're going to have some nice self-contained private toilets? No, bad luck if you're in that bunk, I'm afraid. So yeah, I quite like the shape of that. Do you remember how many people we said that was? I've forgotten already. So we got 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is of course 72. And yeah, I quite like that. So we can, oh no. Ooh, I have to build them, otherwise I can't see them. There we go. Oh, I'd lost them all. So what does this equate to? 27 by 12 to the walls. That's interesting. 27 by 12. 72. Okay. So get rid of those. So 27 by 12, leaving some space for some landscape and some paths. So that's a block. And we said, because I'm terrible memory, 72. And We'll build another. Another. These can go both sides. Of a too wide corridor. It's good that we're leaving some space here because laundries and cleaning cupboards are going to be something that that we definitely need. So 72 by 6, 432 prisoners in this block, and this block is 26 by 79. So if we have a little bit of separation between another one of those, say 3, I've done that wrong already. I cannot remember simple numbers. 79 and 26. 3. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those blocks. And we don't have enough space to fit anything else in. But I have a feeling we're going to use this space for something. So I'm just going to leave that for now. So it's 432 per block. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks minimum security. That is 3,024 prisoners in this section. Now 3,024 prisoners is going to require a huge number of facilities, and I'll show you next what that is going to involve. We're going to need 153 cookers, 155 cooks, 242 fridges, 378 tables, 76 serving tables, and 77 sinks. So is it even possible to actually accommodate this many prisoners crammed into this space? Now I know we're going to have less prisoners per square up here, so it might be that this is not going to be split down the middle in terms of minimum security facilities, medium security facilities. It's going to be probably the canteen for minimum security is going to be most of this. So how do we work out how much space we need for something like 378 tables? Well, there's some more data that we can use, which is basically just the size of the objects. The problem with that method is it gives you a huge space, but you don't really know how to allow for all the circulation space that you need to get between things. So I kind of I'll go a bit old school. I actually like to sort of plan it out and actually see what that involves, just by basically placing the objects down and seeing what that gives us. So 378 tables. So if I can assume that we can go up to the wall, space for a bench, and we basically need 2 between each table. Bench, bench, table. Yeah, bench, bench, table. Bench, bench, table. And so on. This might be the largest restaurant anywhere on Earth. But that's a bit of fun, isn't it? Oh, and look at that. You can even get another bench in there. So how many tables is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We needed 378. So we need 23 rows by this many. Okay, so 1. Do we leave gaps in between? Kind of feel like we should. But maybe we can not leave a gap between every one. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 5, 22, 23. That is a ginormous canteen. But I'm going to stick with this. And I'm going to run with it for the time being. Partly because I've never actually created something as insane as this. So how many serving tables did you need? 76. This might be where it all falls apart. Can't believe we need 76. So if we left space there, space to get random. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That seems sensible. Can you back to back them? It's letting me do it. Let's run with it. So that's 16. So we need basically, let's leave a bit of room. This is not so much space planning as actually building it, but why not? Let's have a bit of fun. Saving us some time actually coming back and building it once we planned it. But I just want to see what the scale of this actually looks like. It's actually 4. It's getting on for 5 runs of that. So I'm just going to rough it out again. I can't believe the size of this. This is insane. Okay, I'm trying to pause it because I don't want it to go dark while I'm doing this. I'm going to just rough in that. It's just, have you ever seen, I mean, I've been to some big all-you-can-eat restaurants before, but this would be something else. I'm not even sure the mechanics of this would work. I was hoping to have space for some other stuff. Like a yard. It's not looking likely. The yard might be the yard we met along the way. There might be some space that's left over. Let's carry on. 153 cookers. So what does that look like? That left some space. So we'll do them back to back. Can't believe we can have this many cooks. I suppose what dictates if I carry on with these videos is whether my computer will actually run this. It's usually pretty good, it's not that memory intensive. But then I hear when people have expanded the site boundaries to an infinite amount, 7 or 8, 10 times either way. It can get a bit heavy. So we got 1, 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 29. We needed 153. So how many rows? Basically 5 rows of cookers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To get them built. So objects. There's my cookers. And then 242 fridges. So I think we can work on the basis that we might need to split these up as well, mix them together. So we don't want people walking to the fridge to the cooker. We'll have cooker fridge. So I'm just trying to work out, because it's the same amount of space. We just need quite a few more. So we'll go on the basis of 29 rows again, but we need 242 of them. So that's 8. Effectively. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Build them. This is just for minimum security, by the way. So here's a question. Can we phase the kitchen so that it prepares meals for minimum security and then maximum security later in the day? I'm going to see medium security, what the medium security requirement is. Because if that's a lot smaller, because we've got less people, then maybe we can just get away with leaving this as is. And we need 77 sinks. So I think sinks are a little larger. There are 3, not 2. So again, we'll get 29. And that equates to 2.5 rows. Build them. So let's just put that in for the full allowance of the space. So that's a huge, ridiculous kitchen. But we have a lot of people. I've never built a prison with 3,000 people in. Well, it's going to be more than 3,000. And so we can probably just put this as a dense storage space. I hope that's enough. It all goes in the fridges, that's the point. We do need a bit of storage space. Okay, and then we're going to call this will be the yard space for both medium and maximum security. So the next thing we'll look at is the laundry numbers. So for laundry with 3,024 prisoners, we need 189 laundry baskets, because you need 1 basket per 16 prisoners. I worked that out right. Yeah, 189 laundry baskets. That equates then to 95 ironing boards, 63 washing machines. So basically, you have to have workers employed in the laundry, and each employee is basically assigned to a laundry basket. Now, a room, to enable 1 worker to work in it, needs to be 4 squares. But you can only have a maximum of 20 workers in a room. So there's no point building a room bigger than what can accommodate 20 workers. So because we need 189 laundry baskets, 189 workers, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wings. So 189 divided by 7, that's 27 workers per wing. So that gives us an internal area of 10 meters, as we're measuring here. By 24, so that's 240 squares. So that's good. We can definitely fit in 56. But remember, we do need space for the other equipment. So what I'm going to plan out both of these rooms. I'm actually going to see if I can do it, leaving some space. Let's call it fire escape. Might be a nice idea. To see what we can actually get in here. So internally, 10 by 10. So it's 100 square meters. We needed 56. So can we split that up again? The question is, does the area required per worker, is that related just to the clear space, or can it allow space that is occupied by objects? Well, we can give it a go now and see, because I'm not quite clear about that one. If we unpause it, let's build door so that it can construct. Logistics. Max jobs 25 as it stands. And if you put items in there, such as an ironing board, does this take away the number of people? No. The objects don't count. It's literally the size of the room. This is very good news. Otherwise we would have so many laundries. So let's demolish all of this. Foundations. Okay. So where were we? We can get 25 prisoners working. So 3,024 prisoners divided by 16 gives us 189 laundry baskets, 95 ironing boards, 63 washing machines. We have 7 blocks of minimum security, and there doesn't appear to be a limit, not the 20 person limit that I was thinking. So we need 27 prisoners for each one of these blocks. So I'm going to add this space that we left over on the end. I'm going to make it quite generous, just so that we've got room to get everything in. The number of people is not a problem, because 13 by 10 is 130, and it was per 4 persons, so we can get 32 workers in there. So we'll have more than we need, which is probably a good idea. So what equipment do we actually need in here? So for laundry baskets, we need to get 27 in. So that worked out perfectly. We need to get 14 ironing boards, which might be... because we can always make this room slightly bigger if we need to. We need 9 washing machines, which I think will easily fit. Let's add 1 for luck. Excellent. So that'll be our laundry. And what we'll have down here, gonna need some water and power to run these blocks. So we'll have cleaning cupboard as well. And so for the power, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 plus a capacitor. This will be a cleaning cupboard, I can remember. This will be utilities. So we need to basically add this 26 by 12 onto the end of each. Let's leave that because we don't know what that is yet. It's okay. I mean, it's a huge amount of eating space, but this is what the ratios used to be. So I don't know if that's what the ratios are going to continue to be. We'll see. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, then we'll make it smaller. So we're going to have a look at the medium security wing now. We're going to go 5 off the corner. So the medium security, it's basically going to be standard cells with bunk beds. So 2 to a cell, no dormitories. There's a slightly greater chance of violence and things going wrong. So we're going to build out a standard cell block. Let's do it to the full size. So standard cell blocks, we're not going to make them very generous. If you wanted to live in the Hilton Hotel, you shouldn't be in prison. So 3. I hate 1 wide corridors. It might be more efficient, but 3. So that's basically going to be the scope of it. So that's quite a long wing. Bear in mind, we're going to need laundry again, but we know we left 12 at the end. That would be more than enough because this is a lot denser. So I want some cross corridors, and I'm going to have probably a shower area that serves quite a lot of the cells. So we're going to have some solitary confinement cells at the top end, just a 1 by 3. Then we're going to have the 2 by 3 cells. And we'll have more solitary. This is going to be quite a lot of solitary confinement going on because I'm quite strict. Don't get away with much in my prison. So that gives us not counting solitary confinement because it doesn't count into your numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So this is 44. If I don't write that down, do you see the difference in scale? And that itself was 72. This entire block is 44. What hugely dense dorms do for your capacity, but medium security dorms feels like a recipe for disaster. It really does. So I'm actually wondering, I'm going to make these into shower rooms. Don't really want to walk through the shower. No, I'm going to do that. I don't care. We can have a dry space in the middle. That's fine. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's 40. Nice round number. And we will repeat that down these blocks. It's 92 by 12. It's actually quite thin as a building. So I'm going to make them back to back like this. We'll have a wide cross corridor. It's 92 by 23 to make 80. Just going to leave some leftover space on the end. So 80, this whole block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 by 80 is 640. 640 compared to 3,000. I feel like I've miscalculated something somewhere. But there really were 72 people in there. Okay, so 640 is going to be a much smaller kitchen area, so we will have some space left over for a workshop and the other facilities. So let's go work out what we need for 640. That equates to 32 cookers, 34 cooks, 52 fridges, 80 tables, 16 serving tables, and 17 sinks. Now we know that we can get 16 tables Ooh, I've already made a mistake there. That wall was definitely wrong. So 16 tables in 48 meters. This is 48 meters, which we'd expect. And that means 5 rows of tables. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times that many. We need 16 serving tables. We know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We know that we just need to arrange them in that kind of shape. It feels like the game really wants you to build cells rather than dormitories. But we're going to do both. 32 cookers. So we're going to have a kitchen behind here. 32 cookers. What does that look like? So that's 1, 2, 3, 29. So that was 29 long. So we don't want. I don't want to do a single line. I want to sort of do it. Build the kitchen about sort of this big. So if you have 1, 2, 3, 4 by 2, 3, 4. So 4 is 16, so we need 2 6 by 10s. So that's just the cookers. We need double the amount of fridges. And I think we can get this many sinks. I think it's going to work out something like that. It's remarkable the difference in scale for the same footprint. How many more prisoners you can get in here. So the next thing to do, laundry for these blocks. We know that there are 80 people in one of these blocks of 2 runs. In this case, for an 80 prisoner block, we need 14 laundry baskets, 7 ironing boards, 5 machines. So let's drop them in again. Let's make sure that we can fit them. So 14. That's good. For the ironing boards, we needed 7. And we needed 5 machines. And what I'm basically going to do is have a small cleaning cupboard. So that's easy enough. And we need some utilities. So for power with its capacitors. Yeah, we'll have another function for this when we come and build this up. That's basically the things that we needed to definitely space plan for. These will be self-contained and we'll come back to those. These will be self-contained and we'll come back to those. I think we can have a more generous yard. That is basically central to both sides. And then we can fill in these with the ancillary accommodation that we need. So actually it's not looking too bad. It's definitely possible to fit in all the things I need. So I think this was a good exercise. And it's going to be an interesting prison if my computer will indeed actually run it.